You should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe. I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it, still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kids and games. Your surface bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways I am. So I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave. Cause I will be here waiting. Just let it seep in. This is some Gemini moon vibrational therapy. Let that Gemini moon talk to you. Yes, sir. Now, if you haven't smiled yet today, now would be the perfect time to do so. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, please allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking vibe. Yeah. It's still Virgo season though, so you gotta let this heal you. Yeah. But it starts in the mind. Incredibly mercurial energy, so I'm here to help you get your mind right.
Felicity, you like this?
Yeah.
Felicity, you like this?
Where's everybody checking in from in the world this afternoon or this evening or tonight or this morning, depending on where you're at? Vibe. Yeah, I know it tastes good too. Might even taste better than it looks. That saxophone is something serious.
Felicity, you like this?
Chat. What's up with it? Y'all awful quiet for a Gemini moon.
Felicity, you like this?
You hear me? Yeah. I like that vibe right there. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. And in doing so, understand this is not about ego. No. This is about algorithm. This just helps us expand the platform. That way, if you're not trying to hear what I'm trying to say, at least we can get out to the next motherfucker who is. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Is the chat not on? Let me make sure the chat is on. Okay, we good. I see you now. What's up, Anthony? What it was, cuz? I just need you to believe in me. Everything else will fall into place naturally from there. What's up, Emerald Kane? Vibe. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling knowledgeable. if that's a feeling. Maybe it's a feeling for me. This is priceless knowledge of self. In the cut like a band-aid. Yeah, this is priceless knowledge of self. We are the Vibe Tribe. There's thousands of us all over the world. That means we're not thirsty for subscribers or hungry for attention, no. We're here to raise this vibration with this knowledge and information. See, the vibe comes first because the knowledge comes naturally. You hear me? We're going to talk about astrology and numerology and all types of things that help you understand yourself better and thus raise your vibration. It's about the vibe. If you can't handle that, you will be banned immediately. I'm talking about exiled expeditiously. Vibe. It's about that time. You know, that time for you to open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. Yeah.
Bello on the beat.
Let me share this video real quick. It's not letting me do what I need to do. Hold on. What y'all got going on today, man? We finna talk about Y'all ready to talk about what's going on cosmically? Because it is about that time. What's up, Sterling? We in this thing, huh? Yeah. Somebody needs to smile right now. And I suggest you do it immediately, because I'll knock all this shit over. Now, I think it's time to get into what's going on cosmically. You hear me? See, first of all, the sun is sitting at 4 degrees of Virgo. So, it is officially Virgo season. What does that mean? Well, more than anything else, it means the particulars come into focus. The little stuff counts more. Do you hear me? That means the devil is in the details. Because the details are going to make you or break you in Virgo season. It's the little shit. Listen to me. When the sun is in Virgo, you can get entangled in the minutia and the situation can decay around you. Or you can take a procedural approach to life. You can take care of things bit by bit and understand that you're working towards a goal. And that'll help you out with anything. Now, people can get picky, especially with Venus still in Virgo for the next few days. People are gonna be picky as fuck. Nitpicky even. But if you stay on top of your shit and you stay on point, nobody would have a reason to pick at you. So that's all you gotta do is make sure you're staying on top of your shit and you're staying on point like an index finger. Yeah, something like that. Now, let me put you up on game. You could also let anxiety kick in. You can let small stuff bother you so much that it starts to accumulate and fuck with your health. Now, speaking of health, health does come into focus when the sun is in Virgo. You hear me? This is trying to find your healthiest expression. And that's not easy. Because it starts in the habitual approach. It starts in the little things that you need to take care of bit by bit. And so this is what the universe is imploring you to do at this time. Get on point. If you are on point, stay on point. And the devil is in the details, as I said, because little shit can fuck you up, but little shit can also make you successful. You gotta put the work in. This ain't no lazy energy. Oh no. But don't overwork yourself. Don't overcompensate. Don't stress yourself out, because then this becomes a very unhealthy time. And then you also have to pay attention to that mind-gut connection, just as if with the moon was in Virgo, but this is a little bit more. For the next month or so, you gotta be careful, because you can really fuck with yourself internally by what you have going on mentally. And so don't allow no small shit to accumulate to the point where it stresses you out. That means take care of the small things bit by bit as you can. Stay realistic as possible in your expectations also. Do you hear me? Stay realistic in those expectations. Now, today, the sun is largely unaspected. The sun's not really having any major aspects with anything. It's semi-sextile to Lilith and the South Node. So you just got to be careful with that. You know, that little bitty nitpicky energy or that little bitty small stuff that you let bother you can have a detriment to your relationships. I would definitely say that. And it's an activating point. It's something like it could be some small shit that triggers it. A semi-sextile is considered a harmonious aspect, but you also have to look at it as a minor aspect. And more than anything else, it's an activating point. That 30-degree aspect is an activating point. It's where it kicks things off. So yeah, you got to be able to handle that. What's up, Smoldering Embers? How you doing? What's up, double A, Rich Wealthy? Yeah. And then before I go on to the moon, let me take this chance to tell all of y'all I love you. You hear me? Mucho. Let me also give a shout out to everybody in Star. Yeah, you know who we are. That's the Society of Tarot and Astrology Readers. And I'm going to tell you, if you're on Facebook, you can go join Star, but you got to be careful and understand where you are, because we're not going to cater to your feelings. We will get on your ass. You have to manage your own social media experience. That means leave your feelings at the door. If you get called out, that's okay, because that's a chance for growth. But more than anything else, we're shit posted in there. Now, there are some subgroups to Star, whether it be Snack, which is a culinary experience, and for those of us that are foodies, whether it be Spiritual Starlings or Stone Starlets, and those speak for themselves, whether it be the Academy, which is the Tarot and Astrology Academy, where that is a purely educational experience, whether it be Raising Stars, for those of us that are involved in parenthood. And then there's also members only tiers that you'd have to do a little something, pay a little something to find out a little something more. And I implore you to do so. While I'm doing that, shout out to my sister, Joali Queen Machete. She's the creator of Star. I just happen to be one of the curators. And there are lots of us. And if you're looking to learn anything about monetizing your online experience, I would definitely take the time to get at Queen Machete, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Instagram, or whether it be on Patreon. Get at the Queen Machete. You hear me? Because she's also an amazing astrocartomancer. She's also very adept at astrology, but she can tell you how to make some money. Now, she ain't going to tell you how to keep it, but she can definitely tell you how to make it. And shout out to everybody in Star, whether it be Jupiter's Creations, which is Mars, my big 3 twin in astrology, and she does music divination, whether it be Mercurial Wonder Astrology, which is Tanya, one of our partners there, and she's an amazing astrologer in her own right. She's a Virgo with the Scorpio moon, so she's surgical with that shit. You hear me? Me, I come from more of a spiritual perspective and helping yourself understand it, because I have a profound understanding of what these placements influence inside a human being. But she's full of knowledge. Whether it be Moon-Eyed Minds, who does Reiki, whether it be Matangi Metaphysical, which she has oils, and she's also an awesome Vedic astrologer. She probably doesn't feel comfortable enough doing readings, but she's a Vedic astrologer, and her oils, and she might do some energy work for you too if you get at her in the right way. Shout out to the Holistic Mystic. That's my business partner Maria, who we don't always see eye to eye. We're both Pisces moons. She's an Aries. I'm a Cancer, so we look at things differently, but she's been riding with me since the beginning. She actually created a lot of this movement with me. And she has her own channel here on YouTube. She's trying to get to where she can go live. She needs 22 more subscribers. So if you're seeing this and you fuck with me, go subscribe to my motherfucking sister, the Holistic Mystic. And while we're here, go also subscribe to Tigger's World. That's OG Vibe Tribe. Go check out bluealiens.com. That's www.blu3aliens.com. They got them bomb ass motherfucking crystals. They got some awesome ass astrology shirts, and they have them THC gummies. I'm talking about the THCA, not no. So that means you can probably get away with smoking it just about anywhere, because it's legal just about everywhere. And it'll still take you to the stars. Yeah. Smile right fucking now before I get mad and knock all this shit over. But yeah, shout out to Star. You know who we are. Now, hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. It's time to talk about the moon.
Because the moon is sitting at 9 degrees of Gemini, almost 10 degrees, probably go to 10 degrees in the next few minutes, but the moon's not receiving any major aspects with anything. So this is where you can't really figure out how you feel, because you feel all types of ways right now. This could, it does depend on what houses it's hitting you. Like for me, this is in my 8th house, so I definitely am feeling some things. It's just, that shit is in a state of flux. I'm feeling things deeply. I'm thinking about things. But also, it's like I'm thinking about things so much that my emotions are constantly evolving and changing. And so I'm having a variety of emotions about every situation. But I am sensitive to the environment. And so I can talk about things more than I'm actually feeling them. It's actually profound to me myself how I was able to articulate what I just said right now. I mean, it was beautiful. I can't say if it's heavy emotions, but it's definitely there. That's undeniable. Indeniable. You hear me? That's not even a word. But yeah, with the moon in Gemini, your mood is constantly changing and evolving, and you're thinking a lot. And with the sun in Virgo and the moon in Gemini, you can have some anxiety or some nervousness, and you can really just stress yourself out because your wheels are constantly spinning. So you got to figure out some type of way to take these thoughts and turn them into ideas, or if not, they can end up being things that start to fuck with you. They can be disturbances, or at the very least, distractions. Yeah. Disturbances or distractions. Now, the moon's not really receiving any major aspects, but it will start to evolve over the evening and into the morning into these squares with Venus, and then conjunctions with Mars and Jupiter. So yeah, make sure you understand that it's going to be really easy over the next 24 hours for your thoughts to get the best of you. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button yet, please. Yeah. Anyway, now let's talk about Mercury. Because Mercury's doing the most, bro. Mercury is doing the most. Mercury, as we speak, is sitting at 21 degrees of Leo, retrograde, for 3 more days. No, 2 more days. Almost got the dates mixed up. For 2 more days. And then it'll station for that post-retrograde shadow phase, which it ain't as bad, but it's still going to take a week or 2 for shit to just get right. And here's the problem with that. This right here makes people really egotistical. Mercury retrograde in Leo is going to make people extra egotistical. And if they're not extra egotistical, they're just extra all the way around. So you're going to see people exaggerating. You're going to see people being mentally lazy. You're going to see people that are too proud of what they're trying to say instead of really trying to learn and evolve in the situation. You're going to see people not saying shit, but stating it. Yeah. Take it from me, I am a Mercury in Leo. My Mercury is at 0 degrees of Leo in my 10th house. So you see it on me. It's an attitude. But anyway, when you have Mercury sitting retrograde here at 21 degrees of Leo, and then considering the fact that it's sextile to Mars and Jupiter and trine to Chiron, there's going to be some arguments. There's going to be some arguments. That if it was direct, it might mean something else. It would be more creative. But with this right here, it creates arguments, bickering, shit talking. There's going to be some roast sessions that's going on over the next few days that's going to hurt some people's feelings for real. Now, the sextile with Chiron is allowing you to try to learn from every situation. Do you understand? You can learn from every situation. As long as you're willing to hold yourself accountable for your actions that were involved. And holding yourself accountable is not always a negative thing. That's how we look at it, because that takes on the egotistical perspective that I was expecting. Because we think, oh, if you're having to hold yourself accountable, that means you did something wrong. No, you're also accountable for your growth. You're also accountable for your success. People forget that. They think, oh, I'm holding myself accountable for a mistake I made. And you can and you should. But you also have to hold yourself accountable for the growth that you've progressed in. You have to hold yourself accountable for the success that you've brought into your life. And that takes a certain awareness. Now, with Mercury here, what ends up happening is you become aware of other people because your own ego is so sensitive. And so there's some bickering and some arguments that come from this. Now, as that stations, things start to get more interesting. It'll station direct. And when it stations direct, that's when people will really start just ultimately probably talking a little bit more healthily. Right now, people are arguing. And if they're not arguing, they're lying and exaggerating. That's what's going on politically on both ends. And so, yeah, just lying and exaggerating. It's funny that this is happening now. And so, yeah, people are going to get stubborn and stuck in certain mindsets or who they're aligned with, and they're going to be arguing and bickering about this. But you still have to assess yourself in a situation, take a step back and really give yourself a chance to grow from a situation by looking at it and holding yourself accountable for however it turned out. And that's not always a bad thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing. See, with Mercury in Leo, here stationing right here, that means it's going to stay sextile, trine to Chiron, pardon me, over the next at least week and a half. So it'll spin, and usually it'll spin, this would have been like a 3-day aspect. But this is going to stretch for at least 10 days. And so this is going to bring a certain awareness into the mix. It's going to bring a certain ego into the mix. Now, I want you to also understand, it does take ego for you to really confront things when you need to also. You can't forget that either. You have an ego for a reason. You can't operate in ego, but you have an ego for a reason. So when people say you need to kill the ego, that's impossible. You just get to a different expression to where the ego is not in control. The ego is a part of it, but the vehicle is not all-encompassing. Do you feel what I'm saying? And so with this right here, with Mercury sitting here trying to Chiron in Aries, there's going to be some situations where you get into some arguments, or you and somebody end up having a heated conversation or a debate. But it is up to you to, at least in that way, be willing to confront how this happened and what your place in it is. What's up, Eliso? Ilosi Retin. But yeah, you just have to allow yourself to learn from each one of these situations. And the only way to do that is an awareness of what happened, and then taking that awareness and giving yourself a sense of accountability. And it's a natural process because people are going to get egotistical about certain stuff right now, and they're going to take shit personally. Things are going to get exaggerated, maybe even dramatic. This is Mercury as it's stationed here retrograde in Leo. Now with it coming to this trine with Chiron, and that means it's going to stay here, and then it's going to station direct in the next 2 days, and it's going to come right back into this direct confrontation, or really not a confrontation because it's a trine, but into a direct alignment with Chiron in Aries. And so this is going to also, as this time, as it evolves from ego, it also, as you learn from the situation, it becomes confidence in you confronting something that needs to be confronted, whether it be with a situation with another person or in self. So I need y'all to hit the like button right now. Like right now. Right now. So my daughter, she's a Capricorn, right? And she watches the live sometimes, but she told me she can't watch them because it seems like I'm a late night slow jam DJ. She said, "You sound like a late night slow jam DJ," and I actually do, because that's what I mean, it's part of this, what I express when I'm in these sessions, but that's also what I aspire to be. That was actually what I wanted to be since I was a young child. Some people wanted to play football. Not me. I wanted to be a late night DJ on the radio. And I would have been perfect for it, right? I would have been absolutely perfect for that. Yeah. Drink water. It's Virgo season. Drink some motherfucking water right now. Yeah. But yeah, Mercury retrograde is sextile to Mars and Jupiter and trine to Chiron, and it's going to be like this for a whole week or 10 days. You hear me? A whole week or 10 days. And so, yeah. Can y'all hear me clearly right now? That's the question. Yeah. Now, let's look at Venus, because Venus is doing even more than Mercury is. See, Venus is sitting at 26 degrees of Virgo. And first of all, Venus in Virgo is very particular. It's not just so much as picky, but it's particular. But this is also practical, realistic, and centered around service. See, Venus in Virgo, it might not be the most affectionate out of these these Venus energies. But what it is there. What it is present, reliable, realistic, consistent. I just keep having to say consistent because they're consistent. Now, with Venus in Virgo, this is where your consistency matters. This is where you being there matters. This is where you showing up matters. This is where you caring enough to be of service. It matters. What's up, Vigorous Wolf? But yeah. And this is also where people are going to be able to see discrepancies in their partner, but they might not be able to see their own part that they're playing in this. So that can lead to some issues in the relationship. See, Venus in Pisces is exalted because it's unconditional. It's to that point to where it could be considered delusional. But more than anything else, it's unconditional. The little stuff, that shit don't matter. It doesn't matter if you fucking stealing from me. It doesn't matter if you fucking do drugs. It doesn't matter if you cheated on me or you hit me. It matters that you love me and I love you, and that is enough to work through anything. That's not what it is with Virgo. Virgo is, hey man, you got to put the work in. You want this shit to work, you got to put the work in. That's Venus in Virgo. And so the little shit counts in relationship issues. Now, here's the issue. Venus is square to Mars, trine to Uranus, and opposite to Neptune. And oh, this is a hot mess. It really is. See, with Venus square to Mars, and this being Virgo and Gemini, this is where there's some bickering within our relationships, where we might be picking our partner apart. This is where we might be looking at situations from a perspective that's only limited, and that thus making us trip out on the people that we love. It's not just in our intimate relationships, it's with most of the people that we're close to. So sometimes you can lose sight of what's really important. It's real easy to lose sight of what's really important. But it's also essential for you to take care of the small stuff. It seems like a lot. But if you want it to work, you got to put the work in. And then it might work out. Yeah. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. We in this thing for real. Now, help somebody if you can. But make sure with Venus and Virgo that you take some time for yourself so that you can stay healthy. You can put so much work into your relationships. You can put so much work into other people and serving other people that you can lose sight of your own health. Let me tell you what else. With Venus and Virgo, people get caught, especially with Venus trying to Uranus and Taurus. People get caught up helping people out, whether it be monetarily or in other ways. And when you always got it, or you're always willing to help, or you're the person that's always there, people become dependent on that. They start to expect it. They become enamored with what you're giving them instead of forgetting who you are. And so with Venus trying to Uranus, this is a beautiful energy. Don't get it twisted. You could all of a sudden see something small about a person and you really become enamored with it. You can say, man, that motherfucker really does that well. Or, man, you can just really spot somebody's knowledge or their mind or something small that they do that you just notice, like, man, that motherfucker really is awesome at that. And you can actually get turned on by that one little thing. Now, this is the time with Venus trying to Uranus where you develop a sudden attraction. Now, this is also a great time for money. You just got to be willing to put the work in. What's up, Dijon and Sturgis? Beats by Bless Zone Now Music. Let's zone now. Yeah. Speaking of curators, I create the vibe. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music is one of the curators. Damn, that went down the wrong pipe. God damn. Whew, shit. That shit fucked me up. That's why I don't sound right already, is this shit been going down the wrong pipe. Taking the bass out of my shit. But yeah, You also have to look at Venus being opposite to Neptune for the next week. For the whole next week. And look, with Venus opposite to Neptune, this is a very sensitive energy. Don't get it twisted. This is Virgo and Pisces. This is sensitive. But it's also, it's like, you're not seeing other people for real. Not if this was Venus conjunct, the people aren't seeing you for who you really are. But this is opposite. So you're looking at situations, and maybe because of one little thing, or maybe because your situation isn't ideal, you're idealizing someone else. Especially with Mercury in retrograde. You start to entertain. See, Leo entertains. Mercury's retrograde in Leo. You see that you can start to entertain something here. And this is that triggering aspect, that semi-sextile. You understand? Mercury in Leo with this semi-sextile with Venus. Now, Venus is a little bit off from that, actually, but Mercury will come back into it, to be honest with you. This is a little bit more than 31 degrees, so we're not even going to count that. But I am telling you that this right here, it can make you, for whatever situation, you're not getting enough attention. You don't feel special enough. You feel like this other person is not putting in the effort that you're putting in. There is a situation where you could become enamored with somebody who you feel like is doing that, and then with this, you could not be easily not seeing somebody correctly, and becoming enamored with one thing and not seeing their whole situation, and making things more complicated or messy for yourself. Do you hear me? Don't over idealize other people, because that's going to be something that ends up backfiring in your face. And when you have a tendency to pick apart your own situation, whether it be because you're single or the situation that you're actually in, you can start to feel like there's something better on the horizon, or you could just start to entertain the thoughts of something better. And then with this trine to Uranus, there could be something that you see in somebody else. And you just can make things more complicated than they have to be. So yeah. Don't make things more complicated than they have to be for yourself. I wish my bass was there in my voice, but I've done fucked it up smoking. But yeah. So let's talk about Mars. Because Mars is now sitting at 24 degrees of Gemini. And so this is where words take on a whole different energetic signature. This is where the shit you say could easily cause a conflict just like that. This is where you're going to be more verbally confrontational. But this is also where people are going to want to be versatile in their approach to life. They don't want to be caught up doing one thing. They want to be able to multitask and do several things at once. This is where people's get really interested in a lot of stuff, or they could find a lot of different stuff interesting. And it could also be where people are really getting turned on by other people's mindset. There's several things that goes to this. And never forget, Gemini also rules the hands. Yeah. The hands. So, let me tell you about Mars and Gemini. Mars in Gemini is electric and effervescent. There's so much energy there. There's so much energy there that you can feel like you're all over the place. You can easily get overstimulated. That's what happens with Jupiter in Gemini also. Jupiter doesn't know boundaries, so it's not just you're stimulated, you get overstimulated, just like that. Because Gemini is very sensitive to the environment. It might not be sensitive to emotions, but it's sensitive to the environment. Do you hear me? It's sensitive to the environment. I don't think you heard me though. Do you hear me though? Anyway, hold up. I heard something. Mars is sextile to Chiron. And Mars is separating from this sextile, but it's going to be there for the next 3 days. And so when you see Mars sextile to Chiron, this is once again arguments that can incinerate really quickly, turn into a conflict. This is where people actually have to get held accountable for things they're saying. And you also are accountable for things you've said. You understand? You're accountable for your expressions. Yeah. It's like that. Now, Jupiter. Jupiter is sitting at 18 degrees of Gemini. And oh man, I'll tell you what this is. This is very communicative. It's extremely curious. It's curiosity without consequence, or without a care for consequence. And you know what they said, curiosity did kill the cat. I guess curiosity is my nickname. This is where people are clever and witty. This is where you want to see your mind get stimulated as much as possible. But you can easily become overstimulated because Jupiter doesn't know boundaries. And Jupiter is actually in detriment in Gemini. Yeah. That means this is one of those expressions of Jupiter that can really get messy. You know, there's two sides to every coin. There's two sides to every story. So, with Jupiter and Gemini, there's two sides to this. There's the good and the bad. This is where things can get real messy real quick. This is where you can go from curious to interested to overstimulated in a matter of seconds. This is where you can talk too fucking much and say too much. But it also could be where your wit helps bless you in a situation. You being clever and witty is something that actually could save you. Maybe even save your life. Maybe even make you some money. And your ability to verbalize is going to be pronounced. But with Mars in Gemini, I understand there's some different energy behind your words right now. Words have a whole different energetic signature right now. And then with Jupiter here, that just blows the situation up. Jupiter's about expansion. Yes, it's about luck and blessings, but people get caught up in those two things and they miss out on everything else. It's about expansion. It's about abundance. Now, you have to understand, things keep expanding. It's not going to stop when it gets enough. That's not what Jupiter does. It's a gas giant. Yeah. Whatever the fuck that means. And oh man, Jupiter's gonna go retrograde here soon too, in October. But we'll talk about that when it comes. We will address that as it comes. Now, that next brings us to Saturn, because Jupiter is actually still square to Saturn. And when you see Jupiter square to Saturn, this is where things aren't progressing the way that you want them to. That doesn't mean they're not progressing. That doesn't mean you're not seeing a blessing. It just means you're not getting what you expected. And that's ironic that this is actually Gemini and Pisces. Yeah. Your own worries can limit you. This is where your expectations are the issue in the whole situation. Why would you have expectations? Yeah. The expectations can fuck you up. I don't think you heard me though. This is where this could be an incredibly creative time if you took your time. Or you can just create mess. You can start to worry about something and switch something up. You can end up killing the goose that glazed the golden egg because you're so desirous for change. There's something that gave you a whim. And then what happens? What's up, Russell Gregory? You caught up on a whim. You just got to be careful with this right here. You can mess off your blessings, or you might just delay it. But with Saturn, what you got to understand is delayed does not mean denied. See, there's a process to this that's playing out, and you just got to learn how to trust in that process. See, with Saturn retrograde in Pisces, a lot of people have lost faith. The way that things have progressed in the world, whether it feeling like problems have piled up, whether it feel like things are not getting better but they're getting worse, it makes people lose faith. They fucking lose faith. And that doesn't help the situation in any way, form, or fashion. That's the truth. Motherfucker, you forgot what it's all about. This is a process. And so once again, you're having to be reminded. That's what this retrograde is doing, reminding you of something. Hey, this is something that needs to be taken care of. See, this issue is still there. You can't ignore it. You can't escape it. You can't avoid it. It's here. And hey, it doesn't mean that the world is picking on you. No, because people are going through stuff all over. You can just see that. So all you can do is take care of your shit. The things that you can't take care of, you gotta let go of. You gotta release it. Do you hear me? Release it. Let that shit go. That's the truth of this shit. Take care of what you can take care of and release the rest, because a lot of the shit that you stressing about ain't even real. This is still Pisces. The only thing that's real is the feelings that you feel. And you're responsible for those. It's all about perspective. Saturn being retrograde is allowing you to gain perspective. It's the universe saying, hey, look, man, this is what it is. You got to learn. You got to look at it a certain way. But you see it. Life is just lifing. That's the truth. Life is just life, and you're not a victim of circumstance. Your karma ain't even out to get you. Your karma is just playing out. That's what you got to understand. It's not coming to get you. As much as people want it to be like that because people feel emotionally resentful, your karma's not going to come back on you 10 times harder. It's just going to come back on you because what goes around comes around. That's a part of the process. Do you understand? And when people say, oh, karma is not consequence, it isn't. I've told y'all this. Karma is not consequences. Now, consequences can be a part of karma, but it doesn't always play out like that. You signed up for this. You laid out this motherfucking purpose for yourself. And so whatever you're going through right now, it's not more than you can handle. Because you gave yourself these responsibilities. And some of that shit is unavoidable, inescapable, and unignorable. That's the truth. That's just what it is. You're just a part of a process. This is just a part of the process. Whatever's happened to you is a part of the process. Even if it's death, that's a part of the process. So what you got to do is find some type of way that you can healthily process it, whatever it is. Because life is still going to keep lifing. Life is just going to keep lifing. That's what life does. Shit gets hard. Inflation is a part of fucking having currency. Plain and simple. People say, oh, inflation. When are they going to stop inflation? Never. As soon as currency was created, inflation began. The more currency that's created, the more prices go up, the more they can charge for shit. The more product that's put into production, the more that they can fucking charge, the more they're going to print, the more it's going to get. That's just a part of the fucking commerce. It's not even politics, it's commerce. So you got to adjust accordingly. As long as there's fucking politics, motherfuckers are going to lie. That's the truth. As long as people are communicable with each other or even communicable with each other in commune, there's going to be communicable diseases. There's going to be things. As long as that we are using radio waves constantly for everything, through satellite, through cell phone, through Bluetooth, there's going to be cancer. There's going to be things that cause it to mutate. That's the truth. And like they can, and they can come up with. They probably have a cure. But that would kill the process of them creating currency. That's the truth. As long as we are materially physical beings, we are going to die. This body is not permanent. If you do a lot of drugs like I have, it's going to be hard on your body. If you're sexually without boundaries, then at some point you can put yourself in the danger zone. If you are committing crimes, there's a good chance you might get your ass locked up. If you are allowing yourself to be open to love, you also have to be open to heartbreak. It's a part of the process. It's just a part of the process. Heartbreak is something that is a possibility if you're really loving for real. Real love wouldn't be as blissful if you didn't have heartbreak on the other end of that spectrum. Life wouldn't be as sweet if there wasn't death. That's the truth. A lot of the times we resent situations that are not even worth resenting. The problem is the resentment in itself. Sometimes the only problem that we have with certain people is that we think those people have a problem with us and they don't even give a fuck about us. That's your problem, is you think people got a problem with you. And you need to figure that out for your motherfucking self. That's what happens with this. This is Saturn in Pisces. That's why we're going over this degree stretch right here 3 times. We've already went over it once. Saturn station retrograde at 19 degrees. It's going to go to 12 degrees. We're at 16 degrees right now. When we get to 12 degrees, it's going to station back direct and go right back over it. So that's 3 hits to this run of degrees, from 19 to 12 degrees of Pisces, or from 12 to 19. And so this is your opportunity to gain perspective and process it. Because if you don't, it just becomes more and more of a problem. It's not your karma coming back harder. It's the longer you fucking ignore shit, the more it's going to pile up. The worse it's going to be. That's on you, baby. Plain and simple. What you do with it is what you do with it. Now, Uranus. Uranus is at 27 degrees of Taurus. Uranus will station retrograde on September 1st. So 4 more days. 5 more days. Let me think, it's the 26th today? Yeah, 5 more days. 5 more days that Uranus, so it's really stationed right here. It's in that pre-retrograde shadow phase, however y'all want to call it, but it's stationed at 27. It's not going to move at all. It's going to stay here for at least a month. For at least a month. And so with this right here, this is stationing sextile, almost exactly sextile, because Neptune is already moving within its retrograde motion to Neptune. And so with Uranus in Taurus, first of all, it's like there is no sense of stability, especially financially. It's like the situation is in flux. But that doesn't mean it's not lucrative. It's unstable because the market is unstable, because people's opinion is so powerful right now that the value of things change drastically from one day to the next. One day something can be worthless, the next day it could become hot and it could be worth a whole bunch of money. Also, one day you can be offering a valuable service, but one thing get put out there and the next day it's out of there. But there are so many ways that you can make money now. And I'm not going to go through the whole rundown of them, but there's so many ways that you can make money, man. I mean, so many. There's no excuse for being broke. Now, here's the thing with this. With Uranus sextile to Neptune, and Neptune being at 29 degrees of Pisces, soon to be 28, what this ultimately looks like is the culture. The culture is very influential over people's values, and what is valuable and money is also very influential on the culture. Do you understand what I'm saying? Uranus and Taurus is representing the market and the money right now, and that is unstable because of people's opinions, whether because of the way that the world is, because the nature of business is constantly evolving now, because of technology, because of social media, because of people's individual opinions. That keeps things in flux, but it also gives you an opportunity to make lots of money. Now, here's the thing. When you have this sextile with Neptune, what you see is the culture is so influential over what's valuable. The culture can get behind something, and it's like that. You can look at just small stuff like rap music. Look at what happened with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has always been considered an awesome rap artist. Creme de la creme. But Drake is a pop star. and he was worth so much money. But after their little altercation, that Jupiter and Gemini verbal altercation that they've had, and they had that little beef, and Kendrick Lamar dropped this song, the culture got behind that song. It's the most popular song in the world for a little bit. It's probably not today, but it was for 3 or 4 months. The absolutely most popular song in the whole fucking world. And so just off that one thing right there, whether it be the YouTube views or whether it be that, Kendrick Lamar's life changed drastically. People's opinion of him became fucking mythical. Not only that, he made a lot of fucking money off of that. Now people's thoughts of Drake, because of something that the culture got behind, doesn't matter if it's true or not, it changed drastically because of what was said in that song. And so Drake is definitely not as worth as much as he was before, because the potential marketability for him going forward has been greatly affected. That's the truth. You look at boxing, you see what happened with Ryan Garcia and them. You look in politics, you see that people can say whatever they want, but the number of people that are trying to go with Trump are because they are worried about finances. They're worried about money. And so that right there has actually caused them to reassess their values or change their whole values, because hey, they're willing to accept whatever Trump is. They might condemn someone else, but they're willing to accept Trump with felonies. They're willing to accept Trump's being divisive. They're willing to accept him being the way that he is, because to them, Trump offers better financial prospects, and he offers a better economy moving forward. It's not about the politics and everything else. That is just a part of the excuse. The majority of people that are not a part of that whole cult experience are really willing to reassess their values and go with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump seems like he's going to offer them a chance to make more money, or to inflation to be fixed, or for the financial situation in the economy to improve. That's the truth of it. Now, you also see in regular mundane life, people are constantly having to really look at and figure out where they stand, because a lot of those old ways of doing things are becoming diminished, and at the very least, it's not profitable. So you got to be willing to do something that's outside of your comfort zone in order for you to really make some money. Do you feel what I'm saying? This is where this culture is so influential, but money is also very influential on the culture. So that's interesting in its own right. Now, I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button for me, please. Yeah. Now, Uranus is also trine to Pluto. So shit is going to get radical. Now, it's going to go back into Capricorn, where, once again, it's where people are thinking from a capitalist mindset. Their worry and their stress and their discontent is going to influence their decision-making process with this. And you look at what it is, it's the natural process because of the financial situation. See, Pluto is dipping back into Capricorn on the 1st of September, and it's going to stay there throughout the election process here in the United States. But even besides that, it's going to stay there until November 15th for a lot of people. And so for whatever reason, people have become frustrated with the way things are, especially from a financial perspective. This is Taurus and Capricorn, and there's some discontent that starts to grow in there. And that discontent is going to really cause people to want to reassess leadership. And it can be about freedom when we get back into Aquarius. That's interesting in its own right. But ultimately, it's sitting here. Shit is gonna get interesting because people are gonna have the type of discontent that breeds change, real fucking change. They're gonna have the type of frustration with the powers that be, with their own situation, that they're gonna be willing to do whatever it takes to where not have to have that feeling again. And Pluto won't be back into Capricorn for 250 years. Let me tell you, the last time this happened was right before the Revolutionary War. Right in 1775, 1776. This is right when Pluto dipped back into Capricorn for that last time, where you have a Boston Tea Party, where we say, no, we're not going to take it no more. Now something has to change. We're not doing this anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, that energetic degree, young God, sitting at that 29th degree of Capricorn. That's what I tell y'all is the anorexic energetic. That's right there where you fucking hungry, you fucking frustrated, you fucking tired, but you gotta keep going. So you fucking frustrated. You fucking frustrated. Yeah. But it's also as ambitious as you'll ever be. You know when they say hungry? You know, when they talk about it in football or in boxing, they say, hey, that fighter's not hungry no more. He ain't got that dog in him no more. He ain't hungry no more. You got to figure out a way to stay hungry. That 29th degree of Capricorn is where you're hungry for change. You're hungry for something to be different. It's where that's what happens with 0 degrees of Aquarius. It's like you have a change in mindset. That open-minded approach is all the change that you need to make your world expand exponentially. You start to look at it from this perspective. You see, from this 29th degree of Capricorn, Pluto comes back here, and Pluto is change. Pluto is death and rebirth and regeneration and intensity. And so there's just this intent, hunger, and discontent. You fucking malnourished. This is Capricorn. You fucking malnourished, but you fighting. You fighting for fucking growth and food and respect and responsibility. And so this is the type of stuff that happens. Yeah. Yeah, we on some shit today. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the fucking like button. But yeah. Hold on. So, let's talk about Neptune. Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces. We just talked about Pluto already, but we skipped Neptune. And so Neptune right there is at 29 degrees of Pisces. Now, I want you to understand, since we're talking about that 29th degree, the energetic degree, let's look at 29 degrees of Pisces. See, 29 degrees of Pisces is everything. You're sensitive to everything. You're influenced by everything. And you're experiencing everything. It's all happening at once. You're catching it all at once. It's like the culmination of the whole zodiac. It's every fucking thing. And so you're sensitive to it all. You're feeling it all. It influences your decision-making process, and that's where you get confused. So what you have to do is you can't allow yourself to go off what everything and everybody else does. You have to go off what's going on inside of you. You got to judge by how you feel, because that's connected to that main line to the divine that resides inside of you. I don't think you heard me. You have a main line to the divine that resides inside of you. You have to take that and let your inner compass be your guide, because the culture is confusing. It's a copycat culture. We can see it. A lot of us really start to look at this, man. We start to figure this shit out, especially when Neptune is retrograde and it's sitting here. It's like you really start to see everything. You see everything. And that doesn't mean what you were seeing before was wrong. It's just a different perspective. Sometimes you need two different perspectives to deliver discernment. Because if you're only seeing it one way, that can lead to some confusion or delusion. So when you're seeing it both ways, it allows you to develop some discernment. Or you can allow yourself to get confused and think, man, I'm seeing it both ways now. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Well, what you do is judge by how you feel. Whatever it takes to make you happy. Yeah. I don't think you hear me. Now, let's talk about Chiron. We kind of already have, but let's just address it real quick. Chiron is at 23 degrees of Aries. And so this is the chance for you to hold yourself accountable for wherever your feet are. That means taking responsibility for wherever you're at in life. That means holding yourself accountable for the things that you've allowed through ignorance or acceptance. Do you hear me? You have to realize, and it takes a certain awareness to realize, you are also accountable for what you allow through ignorance or acceptance. I don't think you heard me though. Or are you ignorant enough to accept anything, and then you're accountable for that too? But as I said earlier, accountability is not always negative. Sometimes accountability is exactly what you need to realize your growth, to celebrate your success, because you're also accountable for that. But you take it, or it doesn't you take, but it does take a certain awareness of wherever you are in order for you to understand where you are. So you have to do that for yourself. No ifs, ands, or buts, bro. Hold up, I gotta spit in my trash can. Anyway, let's talk about the Black Moon Lilith. Cause the Black Moon Lilith is now sitting at 6 degrees of Libra. Now, the Black Moon Lilith is going to do what the Black Moon Lilith does, but it just so happens that the Black Moon Lilith is exactly conjunct to the South Node, or Ketu. And this would be Hastya Nakshatra in Vedic astrology. But we're not talking from a Vedic perspective. What this is right here is very codependent energy. It's also where people are too tolerant. You're too tolerant. You're so tolerant that it can make you dishonest. It can also be where you're trying to avoid conflict, but through that avoidance technique, you're creating it. Whether it be delayed or something that happens right then. you definitely see people that just, they're trying to avoid a conflict, so they're dishonest about a situation, and that ends up backfiring in their face because all they're doing is creating it by that dishonesty. This is where you can see people sugarcoating shit. Like, you should have just said it straight up and was honest about the whole situation. You done made this into something that it's not because this is bullshit. You can also see people being two-faced, fence riding. But this is also a time where you might have to learn how to utilize your conflict resolution skills, because you're going to be confrontational with life. And being confrontational with life doesn't mean you should be in conflict with anybody else. Just means you're experiencing your truth as a Virgo with the North Node in Aries. You're doing what you got to do for you. Whatever it takes. And in you doing whatever it takes is giving you that opportunity for things to get better. But you can only make things more complicated for yourself by dishonesty. And the dishonesty is not coming from what's the word I'm looking for? A malicious perspective. It's like motherfuckers are lying to you for your own good. Motherfuckers, or you might be lying to people for their own good. Now, here's another thing. This is also where you start to realize it's not somebody else's responsibility for you to respect your relationship. Do you hear me? I said it wrong. It's not, if you're dealing with somebody else, it's not their responsibility for you to respect your relationship. It's your responsibility to respect your relationship. See, I'm responsible for my part in that. My partner would be responsible for her part in that. You're responsible for your part in that. They're responsible for that part in that. And not everybody's going to be respectful to that shit. You might look good to them. Real good. Yeah. I don't think you heard me, though. Ice and Snow Show. What's up, baby? I don't think y'all heard me, though. But you heard me, though. This is where you can get caught up in the appearance of things. You can be superficial. Something can be real pretty, but you ain't seeing everything else. You're attracted aesthetically. This is where you can see yourself being a sucker for a pretty face. This is where you yourself could see yourself being superficial or two-faced. Yeah. Kyle Shabazz. What's up? We in this thing for real. Neck deep, vibe tribe. That's all I'm gonna say about the transits. Let's talk about the numerology real quick before I open the floor up for. I'll open the floor up for like an hour. Now we gonna talk about stuff today. I'm not gonna just be answering questions rapid fire. I answer questions on Wednesdays. You hear me? We'll have a question and answer session on Wednesday. We can talk about stuff today. So if I say anything y'all want to talk about, we gonna find a topic from one of y'all here in the chat, and we gonna talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll move on to another topic after we've discussed that. But this is an open discussion because it's a Gemini moon, and we can discuss it. You hear me? We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Now, What the fuck you doing? As far as the numerology today, we're in a 6 vibration. And you know what's funny? Y'all want to talk about the 888 Lionsgate port? That's bullshit. We is in an 888 today, though. And the sun is still loosely conjunct Regulus. On fixed stars, I like to keep it within 2 degrees conjunction. And Regulus is right at 0 to 1 degrees Virgo. So we are kind of moving away from this. But it's still one of those days. It's one of those days. Now, how do you get to the 24, the 6th? Well, it's August 26th, 2024. August is the 8th month. You take that 8, you drop it down. There's no need to simplify it any further. It's the 26th. 2 plus 6 is 8. You take that 8, you drop it down. 2024 is also an 8 because 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4 is an 8. And so you have 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is 24. 2 plus 4 is a 6. So today is the day for you to take care of home. Whether it be with your loved ones or the actual place you live, take care of home. Now, there's also an 8 connotation to this. And so with this right here, I would just say that this is where you take charge of your home, or at the very least, this is where you do whatever you can to put the home team in a winning position. Put the motherfucking home team in a winning position. Now, there's several ways you can do that. You don't have to do it out in the world. You can do it at the home through communication. Yeah, heal. For real. And that's all I got to say about that. The floor is now open for discussions. We got about 30, 45 minutes. Then I got to go. And I'll either be back Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know yet. I got some things to do. Yeah. About 30 or 45 minutes till I bounce. Yeah, I've been here for 93 minutes. We're going to keep it to like 2.5 hours. What are my expectations for Uranus and Gemini? I don't have expectations. But I anticipate war. 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 That's what I anticipate, because going off of Uranus and Gemini's courses, every time Uranus has been in Gemini for the last 250 years, there has been war, especially for the United States in particular, but war. Major war within the world. The last time Uranus is in Gemini was World War II. The time before that, the American Civil War. The time before that, the French and the American Revolutionary Wars. War. Anthony, you said, with my Libra rising, did I ever struggle in relationships with being too much of a people pleaser? No. I have Aries in the 7th house. I can be a people pleaser, but I mean, You forget that relationship, that Aries in the 7th house for Libra risings. The relationships bring out another energy for Libra rising than for other people. I would say that having Virgo in the 12th house and having Libra rising and needing people's approval, that can make you a people pleaser. Too much so. To where you have to assert yourself when you're dealing with people one-on-one. You have to teach yourself to assert. And a lot of times it's forced because of that Aries in the 7th house. There's conflicts that's created that does it. So yeah, there's that. There is that. Now, let's go ahead and let's answer Ice and Snow Show's question. You said, how does a 12th house moon behave differently from a Pisces moon? It depends on the 12th house moon is going to be the sign. That just means their emotions play out in the 12th house. A Pisces moon is the expression. The house is where it plays out, and in that case, it's where their emotions are really the easiestly expressed, and where they need to express their emotions in order for them to feel comfortable in life. Not even comfortable, safe. And so for them, it's in the 12th house when they're alone. When they're in service, that's when they're really emotional. Pisces moon is the type of emotions they have and where it came from. So there's the difference. The house is the area of expression, and for the moon, that's what those people need, or that's where those people feel most emotionally expressive, or where they feel comfortable enough expressing their emotions in life. So there is a certain amount of safety for them to feel in that place, really being themselves. For me, I have my moon in Pisces in the 5th house. And so I'm a Pisces moon, no doubt, but it plays out in the 5th house, in my creativity, in my playfulness, in my love, and also in my sexual, my mundane sexual relationships, because I don't have boundaries, or I didn't when I was promiscuous. And, it plays out in promiscuity because I don't have boundaries. And so a lot of the times people liked me and especially with Venus and Leo too, but people liked me, and that was enough for me to fuck them. Not because I liked them, it's just they liked me. They was into me, and I'm into me. And so that shit's sexy. And so fuck it, you can get it. And so there was just this thing, and it also was where I developed a lot of those really strong connections with people in those promiscuous situations, because I don't have boundaries in order to keep it just a promiscuous situation, or keep it simple, or keep it light. I don't have the boundary to do so. I become emotionally involved. And so that's something that's happened on the regular. But it all plays out as a Pisces moon, a person who is imaginative, and somebody whose imagination can run away with their whole being, people who are incredibly sensitive to energy and to emotions, people who they themselves are an emotional expression in their own right. And sometimes it's not even their own emotions, but there's no boundary between them and other people, or them in the mood of the moment, or them in the temperature of the times. You see with this where there's a certain amount of delusion that comes along with it, because you don't want to be present and look at things for what they are. You want to idealize people and situations and life in general. And then there can also be a sense of escapism, because they're so sensitive to everything that people escape into substances, or even into characters that they themselves create for themselves. And so for me in the 5th house, it's fun to me. I need to be creative. I need to play this role. I need to be by myself in order for me to really enjoy myself. I need to, you know what I'm saying? And so there's just this way that it plays out because of the house, in contrast to the emotional expression of the sign. My moon is, I'm a fifth house moon. You know, it's not just Venus and Leo, but I'm cocky. I am extra. I love attention. I need attention. I'm funny. I'm creative. I'm playful. I'm childish in a way, no matter how mature I am, because I do have a certain maturity, and I'm an old soul, but my soul has probably been playful in every life. I'm a very playful person. I'm entertaining. Some would even say I'm engaging. And I just have a lot of personality. I have a lot of fucking personality. And it's in me. It's not on me. It plays out in that way of life. And it's the Pisces in me. It's like there's that special something. It's that, like, you can tell I give a fuck. And on top of everything else, besides just me being me and me having the charisma, you can tell I give a fuck. And I'm real cool. And so all of that plays out into my persona. And that's what that was, cuz. Anthony said a Leo at work told him to like who likes you. That's some Leo shit, like, for real. But I mean, my moon is in the 5th house of Leo. What else y'all want to discuss? Since we on discussions. We having discussions without repercussions because it's just us. As long as we don't cause a fuss. Yeah. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah, Beats by ViBrAtIoNaL music. He's very creative. Very, very, very creative. He uses his emotions. I use a vibe. He takes the things he feels and creates with it. Now, I do the same thing, but it's a vibe for me. I'm creating a vibe. He's invoking emotions. You like that? He's expressing and invoking. Not revoking, invoking, evoking. Anthony, you said, do empty houses mean those areas of life are less challenging for you? I mean, you could look at it from that perspective. I would say less complicated. Less complicated. That doesn't mean less important, because people get that twisted. Less complicated. That's better. And when I did do beats, Beats by ViBrAtIoNaL music. When I did do beats, for me, it was about creating a vibe. It's like, man, this is, even before I get started, I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, This is what I'm trying to create. This is the vibe. This beat is what is supposed to have a certain vibe to it. It's supposed to have a certain mood to it, make people be in a certain mood, or to set the tone in a certain way. Or this is the type of vibe for a song. Like this is gonna eventually be a song. So I'm creating a vibe that somebody can vibe to and make a song off of. And that's also why I never sell my beats, is because I have a specific vibe I want to them. And when I sell it to somebody else, they're gonna make something that I don't fucking want on my fucking beat. Even if they're great artists. It comes to the day that I created that beat for a certain vibe. And if that is not gonna be, what they're gonna create with it is not within my parameters of that vibe, or what I myself created for that vibe, then that's just gonna piss me off, and is gonna make me resentful of giving it away. But then I also create them, like one day I'm gonna create this vibe, or I'm gonna write to them, and I just don't do it anymore. And I mean, I haven't made a beat in 2 years, and so that's just kind of how it goes with that. Double A said, would I classify Gemini as the jack of all trades, master of none? Yes. You said, does Sagittarius oppose that? Sagittarius understands. Gemini knows. Sagittarius understands. There's a difference. So you can really, I mean, Sagittarius can be, it's on the same spectrum. They can be a jack of all trades, but they understand what they're doing. You know, there's knowledge, there's wisdom. There's knowledge, there's understanding. There's information and there's knowledge. Yeah, through experience. Absolutely not. Absolutely. What's up, Serafina? I missed you, baby. Where you been? Where the fuck you been? You been over there with that nigga, huh? What 3 signs would I say are the most hard-headed? Aquarius, Sagittarius, Aries. Aries. If you can believe that. But yeah. Not Libra, Scorpio, Taurus. Scorpio, maybe. Libra is not hard-headed. Libra will do just about anything you tell them to avoid conflict. Not no fucking Libra. Libra is, no. We're not even going to do it. Libra is not hard-headed. Libra would be on the list of the least hard-headed. Libra would be on the least hard-headed. Libra is acquiescing. Taurus is hard-headed. I might do the top 5 most hard-headed placements. I'm working with on the top 5 with one of my apprentices right now. She made some suggestions. Shout out to Tiara, wherever you are. But yeah, more or less, I'm working on the top 5. Yeah, Anthony trying to get at y'all. He got Venus in Gemini. He trying to see what's up. He trifling. I'm hating. he trying to get real flirtatious, and some of y'all might be looking real vivacious, curvaceous. I don't think y'all heard me though. Yeah, he's trying to look at you. Ice and Snow Show is a triple Sagittarius. Goddamn, you sound like my nightmare. I fucking love Sagittarius, but that means I like pain, because y'all motherfuckers is just gonna hurt my feelings and break my goddamn heart. I done had my heart broke by a Sagittarius, funky bitch. And I say that with the utmost disrespect. Fucking ass, funky ass Sagittarius, man. Bitch broke my motherfucking heart so fucking viciously. Switched up on a nigga so goddamn fast, that shit. Like, that's what's wrong with Sagittarius. They'll just switch up on you real quick. People talk, oh, Gemini, yeah, Gemini might be flirting, and bro, but Gemini will be entertaining you. Gemini play games with you. Sagittarius will just switch up on your ass as a matter of principle. Sagittarius will break your motherfucking heart. Fucking hate that shit. I'm a fucking pain freak. But yeah, Sagittarius, fuck fuck all of that. My little sister's a Sagittarius too, and she'll switch up on you. Shit, one day I was living in an apartment with my sister in the projects years ago. This was like 18 or 19 years ago. I think I was 20 and she was 18. And she got her an apartment in the projects. Section 8. She paid $25 a month, and I paid that shit. So we went in there. I had the master bedroom. Everything was cool. We had our little thing going, whatever. But quickly, very quickly, my sister just switched up. You know what I'm saying? One day it's all good, and the next day she's like, "Oh, I'm moving my friend in. You got to find you somewhere to go." I'm like, "What?" She's like, just switched up on a nigga like a Sagittarius will abandon their kids. I'm not just saying because my sister, and I'm not saying y'all will, but a Sagittarius will fucking just switch up on their kids just like that too. To say one day they want to live their life. Mama want to be free. My little sister done said fuck them kids more than once, and I'm like, God damn, like these are your children, and they're not even grown. They're children. And she like literally was like, fuck these kids. I'm living my life now. And I'm like, man, I'm not letting these kids stop me from living my life. What the fuck do you mean? Like, that's some Sagittarius shit. Like, I gotta leave my kids alone so I can work on me. I'm having a spiritual awakening. What? What do you mean, motherfucker? You having a spiritual awakening, you gotta leave your kid, you gotta give your kids up. I gotta go on a spiritual journey. I'm leaving my kids. Like, hell no, you can't do that. Jeezy, don't do it. That's good. I know some Sagittariuses that do, but I know some that don't. I know some that don't, and not just more than one. What's up, Kier? Y'all give a shout out to Kier. Kier is doing his thing. He's starting a podcast. Y'all gonna have to go catch me on the interview. You heard me. And I'm gonna start interviewing some of these Vibe Tribe members myself. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing an interview real soon with Kier. It is. Y'all say what's up to my boy. Yeah, because we promoting that shit. Even when I'm not on it, we promoting it, period, because that's Vibe Tribe, OG. Kier Johnson. Hey, it's love, bro. It's love for real. I'm feeling photogenic than a bitch today. Excuse me. I don't know what it is. It's so hard for me not to snap a motherfucking screenshot on it. Be like, nah, I'm bullshitting. I might turn the computer. I might turn it off. I forgot. I don't know how to do it. If I hit it both on both ends right here, that shit is liable to fucking freeze the screen. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. But nah, for real though. Shout out to that boy Kiara. Sagittarius will switch up. I was with this Sagittarius chick. I've been married to a Sagittarius, and she didn't switch up, but she was cheating like a motherfucker. The motherfucker had 2 kids on me when I was in prison, but she wrote it out though too as a matter of principle. She never switched up on me. I was in prison. She didn't do what she was supposed to do, but she wrote it out with me for some years. The problem was she hid from me when I got out. I got a hold of her that same day, but because she was pregnant. She was fucking pregnant. She got pregnant after I made parole, which that's fucked up. I wasn't tripping about the first kid because I had been in there for some years. But then I had already accepted that and said, hey, I understand you had this baby. You still my wife. When I get out, it's all cool. But when I got out, they had a big old barbecue for me. I'm at the barbecue and shit. Everybody showing up to the barbecue. I'm like, where the fuck is my wife? Out of everybody here, my wife is not fucking here. And so I went asked my stepmom, I said, hey man, what is Samantha, the Sagittarius' number? And so I got this bitch's number, excuse me, and I mean that disrespectfully though. I don't call everybody bitches, but these are some bitches. And I get the thing. She's like, Roderick, she said, now, when I asked for the number, she said, now, Roderick, I think she just don't want you to be mad at her and have no trouble. And I was like, why would I be mad? I'm home. I'm so happy I'm home. Like, I understand she had a kid. I understand that shit. Like, that's just a part of life. I've been gone for 6 years. I have to address it that way. And so I called her. She finally answered. I said, I'm home. I said, where you at? She's like, I'm at the house. And I was like, well, why you ain't? She's like, I knew you was getting out today. And I was like, well, why you ain't here? And she was like, Roderick, you don't want me. And I was like, what? What happened? And she was like, I'm pregnant again. And I was like, damn, fucking how pregnant? And she said, I'm 4 months. I had made parole 6 months before that. Really 8 months before that. I said, what? You got pregnant after I made parole? she said, yeah. I said, man, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. Now, that wasn't my heart broken. That's not the Sagittarius that broke my heart. She didn't break my heart. There wasn't enough love there for us to break our heart. I tried it out for a week or two. We ended up splitting up. Fuck that shit. But no, I remember this was back in the day. This is back in right before I went to prison. So this is 2007. And I don't know if it's Jessica's or Sagittarius's named Jessica, because my sister is a Sagittarius named Jessica, and she ain't shit. She done left her husband I don't know how many times for another dude or a chick. She'll just leave her husband and her kids and go get in another relationship and then go back home. But either way, I've been knowing this girl Jessica since high school. I knew her since high school. We used to fuck around in high school a little bit. I had this little crush on her. Ever since I saw her, I thought she was real pretty. I was just naturally attracted to her positivity and all of that shit that makes you get enamored with Sagittariuses. And so I got caught up in it. And then so we get grown. I see her again. We run into each other. She like, come over. I come over. We get it in, whatever. Next thing you know, she's like, man, just go get, she was a manager of some apartments. She's like, man, just go get your stuff and come over here with me. Like, fuck that shit. She's like, I love you. We've been doing this since high school. And I'm like, I love you too. I'm coming. And so I moved from my house or my apartment that I had, moved all my stuff in with her in one day in true Cancer fashion. And one day I move all my stuff in with her. Like, everything just goes good for like 2 weeks. But I have a broke spell for like a week. Right? I don't make that much money in a week. I was hustling in the streets at that time, but I don't make no fucking money. I had money before that, but I didn't have no fucking money after. Goddamn, hold up. Hold up. I'll be right back. I have to tell the story in a minute. All right, my bad. We're good. Oh, sorry. My bad. But anyway, I seen a whole bunch of police outside. I had to make sure they ain't coming to my motherfucking house. But, because my kids are outside playing. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but they're not coming here. Anyway, I met the Sagittarius. I didn't meet her, but I'd known her since high school, whatever. We fucked around. We moved in after a day. I was there for like 2 weeks, and then I had a broke spell for like a week where my money wasn't moneying. And what ultimately ended up happening was it was her birthday coming up. And so the night before her birthday, we made plans the next day, and we made a whole bunch of fucking love. We was in there doing it and just doing everything. And this motherfucker was like, put a baby in me. And so we thank God she didn't get pregnant, but we did that, whatever. We did it like that. And so I'm just thinking everything is good. And then the next day, which is her birthday, she goes to work. I'm on the block or whatever, and she calls me and she's like, hey, we're moving too fucking fast. You need to go get your fucking stuff from my house. I'm not, I know we had plans tonight. I'm not coming to them plans tonight. She's like, I'm not gonna be home at all. After I get off work, I'm just going somewhere. I'm dipping off. That gives you time to get all your stuff and do whatever you gotta do. Like, just, we're tripping. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, what'd I do? She's like, you didn't do nothing. She's like, I did, like, we're just tripping. And she was just like, yeah, but I'm not coming back. That post-nut clarity, yeah, I'm not coming back. And I wasn't shit. So, I mean, I don't blame her, but at the same time, she broke my fucking heart because I was in that shit. Like, man, I was in it to win it. Just switched up. Damn. Hold up, I'm texting my daughter. She's asking me for money and I don't got it. Oh, I feel bad. I just don't got it. Y'all need to hit that Cash App. I need to send $30 to my daughter. Seriously. See, look. Can y'all see it? She said, "Can I have $30?" And I don't even think I have it in my Cash App. Send me. I need y'all to come together. Send me $30 so I can send to my baby. For real. Business is slow. It's the end of the month. I need this to come together. If this knowledge is priceless. The Cash App is pinned in the chat. I need this for my baby. She's 17. She needs it. But yeah, she got scared. She was getting serious, typical Sag, whatever. She switched up on me and broke my motherfucking heart. She wasn't serious enough. All that got scared shit. You wasn't scared to break a nigga's heart. I mean, just broke my heart. Broke my heart. Switched up on me instantaneously. But for real though, I need y'all to look out for me. Hit that Cash App for me so I can send this to my baby. But yeah, she switched up like a motherfucker. Funky ass motherfucker. She pissed me. That shit, I mean, just switched up. And my sister switches up on her husband regularly. Come in. I appreciate it, Shantae. I need a few more of y'all to chip in on that. Appreciate it, Kier. I need a few more of y'all to chip in on that. I need about I need about 20 more. I need 4 more of y'all to send $5. Let me tell you about Sagittarius. It's not all bad. Sagittarius has developed principles over time. We were young. We were only 20 in our early 20s, maybe 21, 22 at the time. I was 20. And so let me be honest with you. Sagittarius developed principles. So that means eventually she might become a person who never switch up on somebody. You feel me? She might never switch up on anybody. But at that time, I was not what she was looking for. She might have enjoyed me, but that was, as a matter of principle, she was not willing to just accept anything, or she wasn't developed in her principles enough to not do that. But they really do develop principles. I appreciate it, Shantae. I appreciate it. Let me see how much more we need. 190 plus 10. It's 12 plus 9. We need $8 more. Somebody shoot $8 or $10. And we've got it. $10. Somebody order a motherfucking reading. That's what we need. We need to get some more readings going. Whose turn is next? But yeah, Sagittarius develop principles, but it takes time for them to do so through experiences. And so that could have been an experience that helped her develop her principles of living. Whatever it was, she switched up on me and broke my heart. She switched up on a nigga and broke my heart for real, man. She's like, damn, you broke my heart, man. You broke my heart. She didn't say shit else to me. I appreciate the love, Michael Tubbs. I don't even know who that is. I'm sorry if I said your name on there. Who is Michael Tubbs? Which one of y'all is Michael Tubbs? Because that's love, for real. That's love. Which one of y'all is Michael Tubbs? Okay, appreciate it, Lakim Ra, House of Intuition. I appreciate you, bro. Let me send it to her right now. Let me send it to her right now. Let me tell him y'all are sending it to her. I appreciate that for real. Hold on. Uh-oh, they got her. Yeah, I made a way. Y'all made a way. I talked to y'all about it, but y'all made a way. My baby needed that. She's a Capricorn. She's hard to deal with. I did write. I had a book almost written. Here's what happened. I had 5,000 pages written on astrology, ready to make a book or several books. And last year I ran to Texas and I took my whole file cabinet and I took it to my stepmom and my dad's house and they threw it away. I came back home and I left it there on accident and they threw it away. Threw my whole book away. 5,000 pages I'd written. But I'm gonna eventually write a book. I can transcript some of these lives, take the words from not the lives, the videos I have, and take the words from them and put them into books. So yeah, that shit is live in its own right. I sent it to her. Thank y'all. Don't stop sending it though. Keep shooting. So yeah, I told her that y'all sent that to her. And I'm eternally grateful for that. But yeah, I should write a book on astrology, shouldn't I? What was that? Hold up, somebody messaged me. Oh, it was her. She said thank y'all. What's the best Mars sign for the army? Sagittarius. Aries and Sagittarius, but Sagittarius. People try to say Aries is military. Aries is war. Sagittarius is military. When I see somebody's in the military or heavy, I look for Sagittarius placements. Now, that's not always going to be every case, but that's what I do. I look for Sagittarius placements. How would I describe a Gemini Mars sexually? Handsy. Not just handsy, but like somebody who likes to switch it up a lot. They don't want to get boring. They don't want to do the same old position the same old way. They want to switch it up. They want to constantly do different stuff. So you have to keep them stimulated, keep them interested, and you got to keep being versatile in your approach. But yeah, Sagittarius placement. Aries placements too, but Sagittarius placements. Athletes have Sagittarius placements too. A lot of athletes have Leo and Sagittarius placements. I don't know. I'm a Mars in Capricorn. I don't want to do that. I maybe Mars in the 10th or something like that. But I would say because that would be like a military career. You might see Mars in Capricorn if they're officers. That's different than just active military. But if somebody going to be an officer, that could be a Mars in Capricorn placement. But more than anything else, you want to see Capricorn. They want to be in charge. They want to be somebody that is a decision maker. So there's a certain amount of prestige and ambition that's going to come with Mars in Capricorn more than Sagittarius, as far as being in the military and fighting for a purpose, or going to fight abroad, which is those 9th house and Sagittarius placements, because it's taking you traveling. You dig what I'm saying? Those involve traveling. So yeah, something like that. Something like that. Sagittarius placements. We got about 9 more minutes and then I'm out, y'all. And I might be back tomorrow or Wednesday. See, I had a discrepancy when I was scheduling a reading with one of my clients. I told him Thursday the 28th, but the 28th is Wednesday. And so I meant Thursday, but I gave them the date for Wednesday. And so I got to get up with them and see if we can do it on Thursday so I can come live on Wednesday. If that makes sense. So, yep. Anything else y'all want to discuss before we go? We got 8 more minutes. Eight more minutes. What's up, No Shot Tay? What you need an insight on? Yeah, I'm willing to drop you some insight. I always am. I don't cast forecast for the month. I would rather keep it day to day because things evolve. I can look over the month and see transits, but I would have to know how that's affecting each individual. I'm not the type of person that likes to make predictions because those become projections. I can see some long-term transits that are upcoming, and that might make me say, hey, well, on this day or around this time, things could get interesting, like with what's happening with Pluto going back into Capricorn. But me personally, I would rather look at a time frame and give a specific layout for specific time frames that are a little bit less than a month. I could go week by week, but for me to give forecast for a month, that's something that I feel like is projective. So that's not something I would typically do. That's what's up, bro. I'm sorry. My daughter damn sure appreciates that. My baby damn sure appreciates it, buddy. You just look at the transits. They're not. That's why I talk about them every day. I talk about these transits. It's once you understand what the energy is presenting for you, and you understand that, you just try to apply it to the situation. You use your situational awareness that you have of what's going on in the world, and then from there you start to think, well, this is how this is. You can look back at the transits that have been happening, and you can start to get a perspective and understanding of what's going on, and then that allows you to say, well, okay, this is how it could possibly develop, judging by how this energy is expressed. See, I just have this understanding of energy, and I'm sure you do too. So, because I'm not taking away from your knowledge at all, but what you have to do is to develop a situational awareness that you can apply your knowledge to. And so, with the transits, it's one of the easiest things for me, because I understand how this could affect people, because I look at it from my perspective of how my life can be affected, and I use my understanding of experiences to really help convey that out. No Shate said, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising. What can I tell you about you? You are an intense person. You put on a happy face, but you're really intense. You have a darkness inside of you. You have what I would call a sunny projection of yourself into your environment. So you smile, and you have a certain flamboyance, but you also are very intense. Inside, you got a fucking darkness inside of you. You say you're surrounded by darkness. No, you are darkness inside of you. And you're drawn to chaos and drama sometimes too. But you are it. But you yourself just have this magnetic personality, and you are very sexual, and you also are very prideful. And if you feel embarrassed, that I feel bad for whoever tried to embarrass you. I feel bad for whoever tried to embarrass you, because that's the worst thing a motherfucker can do. Like, that's the worst thing a motherfucker can do. And you hold grudges. You're stubborn and you hold grudges. You ain't forgot the people who've been there for you and made you feel good, but you ain't never forgot anybody that fucked you up either. It's inside of you. And if they got you fucked up, oh man, and you don't trust nobody, because you yourself are capable of anything. You know what you're capable of, so how could you trust anybody else? There's a lot, like, and it's not just because you've seen other people be crazy. It's like, the chaos that lives inside of you. You're capable of doing some amazingly good stuff and some fucking horrifically bad stuff. So and you know that you have this face that you put on and this character that you play, but there's also something different inside of you that you're portraying. And so it makes you not trust anybody else, because you know how you are. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you're a complex creature. And you are very complex, and so you are set out to understand other people's complexities, because you really do want to trust them. You just don't. And you've been through some shit, some deep, dark shit. So yeah. Young God, this is the last question. You said, can Jupiter in the 3rd house have something to do with your 5 siblings being half siblings? Hell yeah. Your daddy was a Rolling Stone. Means you got a lot of siblings, but they just they just there. But y'all probably have a decent relationship too. Y'all probably get along pretty good. But hey, if any of y'all are interested in any astrological readings, I need you to get at me immediately. I'm talking about immediately, because I need the business. And that's at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. That's MR.TURNER1300@gmail.com. Now, I also need y'all to know that I posted it here on YouTube, but I'm having a sale on numerology readings until Mercury comes out of retrograde on the 1st. Or Mercury will come out of retrograde. I'll do it to the 29th, not to the 1st. That's too long. Mercury comes out of retrograde on the 28th, so I'll keep the sale going to the 29th. And that's just specifically on numerology readings. All right. So if you haven't gotten a numerology reading, you're selling yourself short. Because I can tell you so much about you and your life in that little 30-minute numerology reading that it will blow your fucking mind. I can tell you things that are coming up in your life and things that have already happened. I can tell you about your karmic debts. I can tell you about your karmic lessons that you need to learn. I can tell you what's going on in your life this year and this month. I can tell you about your personality and your heart's desire and your life's destiny and the path that you're on. I can tell you about the 3 cycles of your life. I can motherfucking put you on. I can tell you your lucky number that can help you succeed. I'm going to tell you all of it. You just need to get at me at that email address that's pinned right there. AA posted it. But yeah, you need to get at me immediately. I love you. I appreciate your support. We'll be back soon. All right? Y'all keep it real till next time. And remember, just because you're built like that, it doesn't mean you have to build like that. And what I mean is we all have all of this energy available to us in some way, form, or fashion. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And this has been some priceless knowledge of self. We out.